back to Santa's workshop. So I think we have the sleigh kind of dialed in to where I'm ready to start the finishing faces. We've got the skids put on. This is just our temporary buildup. They'll work as the templates. When we take them over to the metal shop, we're gonna have these laser cut, and then we'll come back and assemble it and polish it out. And the sleigh colors, we're working on green, red, of course, maybe a cherry candy apple red with some metal flake in it, and then some gold and silver. And then we will do some leather appointment on the back area and on the seat. Now, one of the last details I worked on is this is removable, but this is the dash. I'll take it apart next and fit the gauges in it, and then we'll veneer the face of that in like a polished metal. And it'll have all kinds of switches and gauges, and there's going to be a little bit of show detail on how that's happening next. So guess what? We're kind of into the nerdy part of this build. We're doing the fiberglass work, but while that's drying, I'm playing with the dashboard. And as you noticed before, that it was removable, so I have time to like play with it. I'm gonna skin it with metal and then put some rivets and fun stuff on it, and all kinds of fun little switches and gadgets, and, you know, some little blinking lights. And one thing that I wanted to share with you is that I had restored an old Dodge pickup truck, and I did the dash like aircraft parts. Yes. So all these gauges and whatnot and switches, can never have enough of those. I'm going to incorporate those onto the Sleigh dash. So stay tuned. I'm going to take a trip over to one of my favorite supply houses, and maybe I'll show you something fun. More to follow. Bye for now.
Well, hello there. You'll never believe where I'm at. I'm in a salvage yard here in Los Angeles, Apex. They have everything from aircraft to military to electronics to all that stuff. I'm just here to pick up a part for my sleigh. Could you imagine if I put an escape hatch on the bottom of the sleigh and I could just get in it and shoot off if I needed to? Oh, I could do underwater Atlantis deliveries.
Well, now I've come back from the supply house and the supply yard, and I wanted to share with you, Santa's sleigh has to have some sort of like extra propulsion backup just in case. So I was able to find at this aircraft supply yard some thruster motors, and they're the right size, so I spring actuated them, and they'll have a foot lever inside the cab. They'll be chrome plated, and they'll have all kinds of things like smoke and some blue lights and maybe even some sound effects coming out of it. But I wanted to maybe share with you now what Santa's dash is kind of coming up with idea-wise. Gotta have plenty of sparkly lights. Gotta have an hour meter for sure. Some bell sounds. Navigation for sure. I'm probably gonna incorporate this touch screen. And there's some programs out there that will allow me to create a flight path, maybe some terrain scenes, something like that. And then this is my switch control, and this is my afterburner switch. but you gotta have buttons too, right? So I'm gonna actually light this up. There'll be lighting sequences, there'll be switches. I'd like this to be kind of interactive, so if a child actually wants to touch a switch control, I can explain what's going on. So there's more things happening here, but I thought, hey, you know what, I just kind of share with some of the components that I was able to get, and the next time I see you, we'll be putting this together. So thanks, and stay tuned. Bye for now. I thought maybe I'd share a little bit of these components that I found from the aircraft supply yard. Switches are going to be great. You know, this is a whole line of LED lights that will blink. They'll probably do a sequence. Some of the switches will be activating a different type of lighting sequence here. There's knobs, things that can turn. I do want to make this interactive with a child with me. The hour meter, which will be live. This actually, I'll be able to keep track of, you know, how the electronics are working here and the hours that it's been working. This right here will be an iPad that's incorporated into the dash. It's going to have this nice leather cover to it. There's some programs out there now that you can put navigation in, some terrain sequences, maybe a picture-in-picture, so I can have a camera up front or behind. And then this is the afterburner switch. That's little motors that are in the back. You'll push this and it'll activate some strobe lights, maybe a fogger, the rotation of the turbine. You maybe hear a little whistle sound. And then under the dash, this is for me, this is just a sequence programmer, so it'll allow the lights to blink a certain way. If I have a special needs child come in and maybe we don't want to have the blinking lights, I can just control that, but they can come in and move the switches. So that's it. A lot of thought going into this, and it's going to take a while to wire it up, but it's a nerdy thing and I like that. So stay tuned.
Well, now you're seeing me behind the scenes. This is the very special part that helps agitate the fairy dust. But I can't tell you any more about that because it's Santa's secret.
No, sir.